Hello everybody and welcome to Across the Pond. This is our first bonus little episode that we're doing. We decided to do these a bit more. We're just going to do random kind of topics that we want to chat about.
Welcome to the 89th Academy Awards by Kat and QJ. We are here in our fancy dresses.
My name is Jimmy Kimmel.
My name is QJ, and you're way prettier than Jimmy Kimmel. And we're on the red carpet. Is that where this? That's not the same, is it? We're here.
We're on. I'm just gonna tweet at Trump real quick.
Let's give away some statues to people who might deserve them. Yay!
And people who don't. Emma Stone. So we're just going to quickly run through all of the Academy Awards. We're going to have a little chat about each one, and some of them we're just going to gloss over probably because who cares about documentaries. And we're just going to say, do we agree, do we disagree? Do you want me to start us off then with the very first Academy Award?
Take it away.
So the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor, the nominees were Mahershala Ali, Jeff Bridges, Lucas Hedges, Dev Patel, and Michael Shannon for various films. I should have said the films, but oh well, I screwed that up. And the winner for Best Supporting Actor was La La Land. Oh wait, just kidding. It was Mahershala
How many
Ali.
times are you going to do that?
Just probably every time because it never stops being funny. So I have huge issues with this one because as people who listened to the last episode of my movie recap will know, I didn't like Moonlight.
No.
I thought it was a bit rubbish.
I didn't get a chance to see it. It stopped playing in theaters where I am.
Good. It's not worth it anyway. Waste of time.
Okay.
So I thought Mahershala Ali gave an okay performance. I don't think he gave an Oscar-worthy performance. I think Lucas Hedges, however, for Manchester by the Sea, did give an Oscar-worthy performance.
Now, was he the kid?
He was the kid.
Yeah. He did a great job.
Yeah, of course.
Portraying an angsty teenager.
It's baffling to me that that Lucas he's barely even a supporting actor. He's one of the two leads. He's basically makes that film and he does an amazing job of it, and I don't understand how he didn't get an Oscar. And I get this vague feeling that they gave it to Mahershala Ali for the sake of racial diversity, and I think that's why this was the first award they announced. Because if you were watching the ceremony, every now and then Jimmy Kimmel would be like, Mahershala, how's it going? And he'd just shout out Mahershala Ali.
Heck, Jimmy
he wouldn't
Kimmel.
shout out any of the other winners, but he would consistently be like, and when he did you hear about the awkward tourist thing when they brought tourists on? Jimmy Kimmel was like, as they were walking through, they were like, Jimmy Kimmel was like, touch Mahershala's Oscar, everyone. Mahershala's got an Oscar, look at that. And he was drawing so much attention to it, and it feels really awkward.
He's like the awkward
put this at the front because...
athlete in high school who wants to be friends with the kid that no one likes. Not because he likes him, but because he wants to be the cool guy.
I just get the feeling, because I don't in this. Some people might really disagree with me, but I don't think Mahershala Ali's performance was amazing.
How did
it was fine.
How did Jeff Bridges do? Because I didn't see Hell or High Water.
Jeff Bridges was good in. He was great in it. He was not as good as Lucas Hedges was, but he was good. I think Dev Patel was also better than Mahershala Ali.
Oh yeah, he was amazing.
Also, so I can't judge Michael Shannon. Yeah, Dev Patel was great.
All the performances in Lion were fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm confused.
I'm gonna vote for Jeff Bridges because I have a crush on him.
He's quite old now, though.
Yeah, but he's a stud.
Okay, if we're going by crushes, I'm gonna vote for Dev Patel because
he was pretty dang good looking.
He's gorgeous. But if we're going by acting talent, I'm gonna go for Lucas Hedges on this one.
Okay, he was not that cute.
Yeah, he was
kind of British looking.
Like an awkward Boston teenage. Wait, what? Rude?
Huh? No,
That's
a British boy.
People.
Not.
Okay. Did he remind you of Chris?
He actually looked very Irish to me, but that might have just been his red hair.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, no, I can see it. He kind of had an Irish look to him.
Should we move on?
So, yeah, I disagree with that one, so we can move on to the next award. A lot of people were very happy
love this
about.
award. The Oscar for achievement in makeup and hairstyling. A man called Ove? What? Wait, what was that?
Uwe, I think it was.
I didn't even heard of that.
It's like a weird foreign film, I think.
Okay, Star Trek Beyond and Suicide Squad. And the Academy Award goes to Suicide Squad.
I hate to say this because people who have listened to our show for a while will know that Across the Pond is the #1 place for hating Suicide Squad.
Absolutely. Second only maybe
we are
to
the two
Batman
people-
versus Superman.
We are two people who hate Suicide Squad more than, I don't know, maybe anyone else. Like, I think
so
that's safe to say.
disappointing.
Anytime Suicide Squad, I have the opportunity to talk about how I hate Suicide Squad, I will do it. Like, all of my friends are sick of hearing about it. Like, I just consistently will go on about it. It
But
baffles me how bad that
honestly,
film was. But you know what it did well?
It
did hair and makeup well, didn't it?
I mean, the hair and makeup and not even the costumes, because they didn't do the costumes very well, but the hair and makeup were good. Like, they looked how they were supposed to look, and essentially, like, they could have put the actors in that makeup and been like, go run around and do some cosplay, and it might have been a better movie.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I mean, because if you look at, like, El Diablo is my personal reason why it deserved it, because El Diablo's tattoos are amazing. They look great. That's great makeup design. Killer Croc's prosthetics were excellent. He looked like a big old turd, but, like, I think that was the point. So you can't fault the makeup department. They did their job. You can't blame the makeup department for
the writing of the
Jared Leto's
movie.
makeup looking like ass, because they just did what they were told to do.
And they do it well.
How it should. Yeah, they've done a great job. I haven't seen Star Trek Beyond though, so I don't know if it does.
Like,
better.
I'm glad that things like this get their attention. People like CGI animators whose names aren't really, in bold in the credits or anything, but they do a job that they're supposed to do, because if they didn't do that job, people would notice. But when people do that job really well, people just kind of dismiss it.
Nobody
so
notices.
I do think that award goes, because the makeup artists didn't write this movie or direct it. It's not their fault it sucked.
Yeah.
They did exactly their job they were supposed to.
They did the best part of the movie. The best thing about this movie
the thing
is
people remember, because people took away from that movie, I want to dress like them now, like, and that was all. Yeah, they run around dressing like the characters, and just forget that the movie had terrible dialogue, and the story was trash,
and terrible editing,
they
and
ruined
terrible everything else.
They ruined the integrity of the characters, but at least they look like them.
Yeah, so I can't. I hate Suicide Squad, but I can't fault them for giving this award to Suicide Squad. I think it is quite funny though that Suicide Squad has the same number of awards as Leonardo DiCaprio though.
Well, I mean,
I
at least
think that's hilarious.
At least Suicide Squad isn't a person. Maybe. I mean, does the award at least go to like the makeup artists, or does it just go to?
Yeah, they came up to accept it, so they got the
That's
kind of
good.
physical trophies, which was quite good. And when they announce it, like all of the like technical ones, they announce the people who worked on it. Like they'll do like this is the sound editor who did it, and they'll come up and say thanks and stuff like that. So the people do get credit, which is good. I approve of that. It's really cool. So the next award is Achievement in Costume Design, and the nominees are Allied, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, Florence Foster Jenkins, Jackie, and of course La La Land, because how can you not nominate La La Land for literally everything?
Because they had adorable dresses, of course.
Oh my god.
So cute.
And the winner, I think the most deserving of all of these, and it's Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I think that was great costume design. I really
did have really.
I don't like the film that much.
Yeah,
but...
I mean, the film was fine. They really did have cute costume designs. I love that era.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't.
Yeah, everything looked great. Eddie Redmayne's like suit was cool.
Yeah,
he looked like a suave
funny little
man.
Scarf.
Loved it.
The thing I wonder about that, and I wanted, I was thinking about this when I was watching La La Land, is when they do movies that are so old-fashioned. I imagine it's not too difficult to find really old clothing, but how do they find things like really old cars that run, and old-fashioned, like telephones or appliances that, I mean, obviously they don't have to actually work, but like the cars,
they probably just
the cars kind of do,
or they just have like a prop department that has loads of cars,
that, like,
or they're CGI. They're probably CGI in Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, but I mean, there's lots of super old movies that just like are totally immersed in the time period, and I'm like, where do they get that thing that still runs? Like, it just has an engine that still exists. I don't know. So this thing's gonna take me away. So yeah.
The thing I wanted to say about costume design as an award, and the thing that really annoys me about it, is I find it kind of outrageous that comic book movies don't get nominated, or didn't get nominated, because what about the costuming in Doctor Strange wasn't as good as La La Land? People would have spent hours toiling on that Doctor Strange costume that Benedict Cumberbatch was wearing, and all of those different like pieces of costuming, and I hate it, but Batman vs Superman, Batman's like suits, they looked amazing. Like everything about those, that's perfect costume design. And I don't really get why like Ryan Gosling wearing a nice suit is better costume design than people spending hours and hours toiling on this like perfect like Batman outfit.
I don't know.
I'm not trying to like devalue the work that goes into costuming for something like La La Land, but I just don't get why that got nominated and something like
I feel like
Batman vs Superman or Civil War didn't.
Maybe people in the Academy just like devalue, I don't know, like really cool outfits, or like if you have to CGI them at all, it's just like whatever. But then
I guess
because La La Land did this thing where they gave a really appreciative nod to old Hollywood, and I think a lot of people liked that. And so they were like, "Oh, these outfits and things, they're old fashioned, old Hollywood, so we're gonna, nominate it for an award for that because it I don't know, it doesn't make any sense."
Yeah, it just annoys me.
Okay, the next award goes to Best Documentary Feature. I haven't watched any of these, but the nominations are Fire at Sea, I Am Not Your Negro, Life Animated, OJ, Made in America, and 13th. And the winner goes to OJ, Made in America, because that man just gets everything he wants in life, doesn't he? And
Wait, wasn't that documentary about him being a bad man? Though?
Yeah, but he still got a lot of attention, and he's still probably all like,
I guess.
I won.
Isn't he in prison though?
No.
I don't know anything about O.J. Simpson. No. I'm gonna be honest with you.
He murdered his wife.
I don't even know what he did.
Oh, he murdered his wife and child, like brutally, and then he went to trial for it and got off. They said he was innocent, and then he wrote a book called "If I Did It, This Is How I Did It," and then basically wrote a book about how he murdered them. And he was like, "This is how I did it if I did it, but I didn't do it." And it's this one of the most controversial things in like modern American history. Yep. And he's just like, yeah, like I don't know why like the jury was a bunch of people that liked him, or I don't really know what it was, but
yeah,
he's just one of those people that got away with murder.
Ballsy move though. Like, hey, I got away with it. Let's write a book. What? That's so ballsy.
Yeah, and now someone made a documentary about him because they thought it would shame him even more, when he's probably like, I'm still innocent. So.
Can someone get that soundbite and put it over like a clip of O.J. Simpson talking, please? Because that impression, I imagine, is spot on.
I don't know. I've never like heard him talk or seen his face. I just know his name.
Anyway, so yeah, I don't think either of us really care about there's a couple of like awards here that I don't think either of us would have seen any of the films under, so we can just skim. And that's one of them. So the next award was for Best Sound Editing. The nominees were Arrival, Deepwater Horizon, Hacksaw Ridge, La La Land, and Sully. The winner for this award was Arrival, which I think is fair. Arrival had good sound editing. I don't have a huge amount to say about that. When I was watching it, I was like, Hacksaw Ridge should have got it, but you'll see in a minute why I'm okay with that, because Hacksaw Ridge got the other sound one. Spoilers. And I think Arrival did a great job with its sound editing. It's a good film.
Cool. I didn't get a chance to see it. I might still. But I've heard really good things about it.
Yeah, it has some good stuff, but I had issues, but we can talk about that another time. It had good sound editing though, and that's the point here. I'm just glad that La La Land didn't win this one.
Yeah,
it was very satisfying. Just every time an award came up and La La Land was nominated, I'd be like, yeah, you're gonna get it. You didn't. Roasted. Just made me really happy every time they didn't get one. It was just my favorite thing until the end when they did get some.
All right, so we'll move on quickly just so we can I can ask a question to the award for achievement in sound mixing. The nominations were Arrival, Hacksaw Ridge, La La Land, Rogue One: A Star Wars Story, and 13 Hours: The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. Sorry if I said that wrong.
Yeah.
What was that movie?
Benghazi? Are we talking about? Is that how you pronounce that?
What was that movie?
I don't know. I've never seen. I have no idea. I've never even heard of it.
But the winner was Hacksaw Ridge. Fantastic.
Booyah.
Totally. Now, what is the difference between sound mixing and sound editing?
I'm gonna be fully honest with you. I don't actually know. I probably should have Googled this. I'm gonna imagine that there is definitely a difference, because there's a lot of stuff, like different things happens with sound. I'm gonna hazard a guess. Sound editing would be creation of Foley, um, things like automatic dialogue replacement, things like that. And then sound mixing is when you put it in and you're kind of mixing.
Like maybe it has to do with where the music
like,
goes with everything.
Yeah,
Like
maybe.
how loud everything is
And
and how quiet everything is.
like, and adding the effects. I would get the feeling that sound editing is more dialogue based and mixing is more effects based. But I could be entirely wrong on that. I don't know. That would just be my
Yeah.
kind of
And
educated
since
guess on
I'm
that.
like not really good at watching a movie and going, wow, this sound mixing is so good, like, because I can totally
Yeah.
tell. Like, I'm just gonna say, bravo Hacksaw Ridge, because you were so fantastic. You deserved a couple things, so I'm glad.
Yes.
Whatever you got, I'm glad you got it.
Same. Hacksaw Ridge was like my Hacksaw Ridge, Lion, and Manchester by the Sea were the films that I was rooting for the most across this. Hacksaw Ridge, I think, definitely deserved one of the sound Oscars because the way the sound was like worked in those war scenes was so perfectly put together. Like it
Sound
was
and
just
the visuals.
like it was loud and it.
Holy dang!
Oh, it was so good. Oh, I love that movie.
It was
But
shocking.
everyone's boycotting it because Mel Gibson said some bad things.
Mel Gibson's always a douchebag. Who cares?
Separate the art from the artist, people. Come on.
He's good at being an actor and making movies. He's not good at being a very nice boy.
He's not good at being a person.
No. Didn't I heard that Jimmy Kimmel made a comment and even Mel Gibson was like, ugh. And this podcast guy that Shay listens to was like, if you make Mel Gibson groan, you know you said something bad. I don't know what it was, though.
Man, that's pretty good. Okay, so the next Oscar was the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress.
Yee!
I think this was probably the closest, tightest race of all of them. All of these, I think, I could have believed if they'd won. I would have been like, yep, this makes sense. But I think it went to the slightly better of the 5, 6, 5? It's 5. But so for Best Supporting Actress, the nominees were Viola Davis for Fences, Naomi Harris for Moonlight, Nicole Kidman for Lion, Octavia Spencer for Hidden Figures, and Michelle Williams for Manchester by the Sea. And the award went to Viola Davis for Fences, which I agree with.
Totally on board.
I had issues with Fences, but her performance was just so good. It was just.
I just want to say real quick, I didn't in Lion, was that his mother, Nicole Kidman?
Yes.
I did not know that was her. I thought she kind of looked like Amy Adams' mom. Octavia Spencer is fantastic. Michelle Williams, who was that was that his wife, ex-wife?
His ex-wife.
Okay, I didn't. Yes. No, she did a really good job. There was a scene where she was asking him to lunch, and she was doing that "I can't breathe" crying, which is really hard to do unless you're actually crying. I know because I do that a lot. But she was doing it really well. But I didn't think she was really in the movie enough to win that.
No, she did. My problem was in the scenes she was in, she gave good performances, but Casey Affleck stole the scenes.
Yes.
In every one. Because in that scene, Casey Affleck is just there, and his performance in that scene is so much it's so good. Mm-hmm. So it's but
Viola Davis,
Nicole Kidman did a great performance in Lion. That scene where Saru's oh, well, it's too bad you couldn't have kids. And she's just I could have had kids.
And she tells that story.
That whole speech. Oh,
it makes her character so much more important to the story.
Yeah. Beautiful film. Beautiful scene. Naomi Harris was great as his mom in Moonlight. She was the best part of Moonlight, I would say. Her performance was good. But Viola Davis just... she just knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, she stole that.
It was a tight race, but she was kind of the obvious choice.
During most of the movie, I was thinking, she's doing a really, really good job. She's being a wonderful actress, but I had wished it would go to someone from Hidden Figures until that one scene where she was just busting up. She's crying. She's got snot all over her face, and she's yelling at her husband. And I'm like, holy crap!
Yeah, it's just it was amazing. She stole it.
I just want to say real quick how much that was a marvelous adaptation of that play. I already really liked that play from reading it, but man, when I see good adaptations, whether they're on stage or in film, I'm like, man, plays were so meant to be seen and not read because it was so well done, and they did a really good job at making it, a play that was in movie form. And I know you kind of had issues with it being a little bit dull with a lot of scenes being in one place, And I think that primarily comes from the scenes being so heavily dialogue driven, because there's so much good script in there, and they were faithful to the script, and they kept all the dialogue in there. And a lot of the dialogue went so fast, but it was still very clear. Like, I didn't feel like they were mumbling. I didn't feel like I was missing anything. Because there was so much dialogue, you just felt like you really knew all the characters' minds and what was going through them, and how they were joking and arguing with each other, and just all the struggles they were going through. And oh man, it was so well done. Like, I'm really glad that they put that kind of stuff in movie form, so that I don't have to like wait for it to be in a stage production necessarily. But every actor in that film, like, was spot on remarkable. Like, even the kids in their roles, and oh wow, that was great.
It's a good film. Like, performance wise and script wise, I thought it was excellent.
Yeah.
I just thought its direction was a bit bland, and I think it suffered for that. But we can agree to disagree.
I mean, I didn't have an issue with that. It was probably, at that point, it was probably a preference issue. But there were totally a few fangirl moments where, like, I knew what line was coming up, and so I was so excited for them to read it. Like, when she turned around and said, "You're a womanless man," I was like, "Dang, yeah! I love that
line!" Nice.
I think also my only issue with it, and this is like it with a lot of plays, it was a bit too long.
Yeah, I thought that it kind of dragged a bit into the end.
Yeah, but yay.
It kind of climaxed a bit before the ending, and then it kind of trails off.
Yeah.
So anyway, the next Academy Award.
The next Academy Award is Best Foreign Language Film. Again, I apologize, I haven't seen any of these, but I'm glad that this category exists, because I don't know. I mean, I feel like these films are made by people who are probably good at making films, and they deserve some attention. So the films are Land of Mine, A Man Called Ove, The Salesman, Tana, and Tony Erdmann. And the winner is The Salesman.
Yay!
Yay! Maybe because it won, I'll go see it and give it some credit.
I probably won't. I got other stuff to do with my life. I've got to watch that Guardians of the Galaxy trailer on a loop. Yeah, I'm uncultured swine. I'm okay with that. My problem is a lot of these don't play in our cinemas. If they had better distribution here, which I mean it isn't always possible because
like,
financial stuff.
Really go see it.
Yeah, but I assume they're all good movies. I have no issue with it. The next segment was the animated segment, starting with Best Animated Short Film, which again I've seen none of these. I feel like I probably should have. They might be really good, and they're short, so I don't I could watch all of them in like an hour probably. So I might do that at some point. Who knows? I probably should have done that in preparation for this, but I didn't. Oh well. So the nominees were Blind Vaisha, Borrowed Time, Pear Cider and Cigarettes, Pearl, and Piper. And the winner was Piper.
I talked to you about Borrowed Time. Yeah, that was that one that was not made by Pixar, but made by people who worked for Pixar.
Oh.
And it was like really dark.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
Oh man. Oh, that one should have won. What the Piper? Piper was that cute little
it's the bird one.
Bird like eating snails and then going underwater and learning how to swim, and then it goes to, and then it's Finding Dory. That was the short before Finding Dory. And like it was really pretty to look at, like very well animated. Animators just keep getting better and better.
Why I haven't seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen Finding Dory either, but I just watched this because it was posted. Like you can see all the individual feathers. That went
before Moana was better.
Wait, what? Which?
It's the one with the guy and he has like his heart.
Oh yeah,
and, like
I enjoyed that.
It was great. It's a really nice short animated
short. Yeah, I watched that with Shay, and he was like, that's dumb. He should go to work. That's better. I'm like, no, Shay, no, it's not the point. But yeah, Piper was really well animated. You could see all the little feathers on the birds and each like individual grain of sand every time he buried himself in the sand and came up. Like it was like visually very appealing, but Borrowed Time should have won. And that is all.
Fair enough.
Next award is Best Animated Feature of the Year. And the nominations are Kubo and the Two Strings, Moana, My Life as a Zucchini, The Red Turtle, and Zootopia. And the winner goes to Zootopia. Totally okay with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I on a personal level, I prefer Moana.
Yeah, but I think I understand why Zootopia would get it over that.
Yeah, I totally understand why, because Zootopia is probably a better film. I just think that on a personal level, I
Moana's
just
just
love
so
Moana so
much
much
more
that
like
it's fun. Like, and I can admit
ah.
that. I can accept that.
Yeah. I almost
I can accept that it's my personal preference.
if the awards
Yes.
didn't go towards like the most popular thing and the most like mainstream thing, I would have had arguments for giving it to Kubo and the Two Strings, but I think it was just a little too off the radar for, the Academy. So,
See, I had the opposite. I was worried that because I think Zootopia is a better film than Kubo and the Two Strings, and I was worried that they were going to give it to Kubo and the Two Strings just because it's artsy and they wanted to seem all kind of like, it's an artsy film. Or the other two I've never
I
heard.
haven't
Like My
seen
Life as a Zucchini, I
either of
like
those others.
never heard of them. Like, so who knows? They could be alright. They could be really good. They could have deserved it. I don't know, but I'm okay with the decision. I have no issues whatsoever in that regard.
Cool.
So the next Academy Award was Best Production Design.
What does that
This is the
mean?
point where things start to go downhill. It's things like set dressing, locations, just the kind of design, like everything.
Oh.
Yeah, because I think they had the set designer and the
Oh, like almost like background
something
stuff?
else, the production design. Yeah, stuff like that.
Okay.
Like the way everything around everything is kind of designed. And the nominations are Arrival, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, Hail Caesar, La La Land, and Passengers. And I hate to admit it, but I think the winner, La La Land, actually
I was
deserved this
gonna
one.
say. I mean,
because its sets are good.
it's set in Hollywood and all that stuff, like the Griffith Observatory and those old theaters, and like,
Yeah.
they're really cool to look at. And those
Mhm.
stupid Hollywood hills that you have to walk up and down to find your car, or like they are,
Yeah.
like those were authentic, and those gave a little
Yeah.
feel of authenticity to the film where these characters were living
Yeah.
and struggling in Hollywood. And like, who cares about them? But I'm
Yeah.
glad it was I'm glad it was set where it was, because it was cool to watch. Old school
Yeah.
Hollywood.
Like I'm not a huge fan of La La Land, but I think it deserves that award. I think everything was well designed. I'm not sure why Passengers got nominated. Like Passengers is good, but it's not good because it's production design. Like what?
It was actually set in space. I don't know where Hail Caesar
yeah.
was set. Hail Caesar was really cool to look at. It wasn't the best Coen Brothers
I
film.
haven't seen it. I feel like I should.
Coen Brothers put out
Yeah.
great films, and it was probably better than a lot of movies, but it had some story following issues that I won't really go into. But it was really cool to look
Yeah.
at. So it's funny to see it
Okay.
just put in there randomly where it's not anywhere else.
Well, from when they did the show reels of each one at the ceremony, it looked like it looked like it had good production design. So I don't see why it wouldn't be nominated there.
All right,
So
good for you, stupid La La
that
Land.
was pretty good. I guess we'll let you have that one. I'm not that mad about it. It's fine.
All right, and the next award is Achievement in Visual Effects. And I know you're really excited about this one because the nominations are Deepwater Horizon, which I haven't heard of, Doctor Strange, The Jungle Book, Kubo and the Two Strings, and Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. And the winner goes to The Jungle Book. Yay!
I would have
Cat loves The
physically
Jungle Book.
murdered some people if The Jungle Book did not win achievement. I would have just gone on a spree.
I would have been okay with Kubo and the Two
wouldn't-
Strings
don't.
because stop motion
It's not
animation.
visual effects, it's animation.
Stop motion animation is really hard.
Yeah, but that's animation. It's not visual effects.
It's not.
Well, I mean, technically it is, but if that's visual effects, then Moana should get visual effects too, shouldn't it? No, the Jungle Book is amazing. Everything. I mean, technically, the Jungle Book is an animated film, right? Because it's just an animated film with one human actor inserted into it, pretty much. But it's beautiful. Like everything on screen is phenomenal to look at. And some people were saying, "Oh, Doctor Strange should have had it," and I can buy that. But anyone who hasn't seen the Jungle Book can't say that Doctor Strange should have won it because you don't have a fair assessment because you haven't seen the Jungle Book. It's amazing. Oh, they just managed to get such beautiful facial expressions on those animals.
Yeah, and you said they made it look like a real jungle and everything.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I just watched some of the Jungle Book when I was playing with my friend's virtual reality headset, and I was standing in a tree, and the snake was coming at me, and it was scary.
Fair enough. I think of these 5 nominations, I would have been fine with all of them except for Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. And the thing is, Rogue One doesn't even have bad visual effects. Its visual effects are great. I would have just been mad because I hate Rogue One. Because everything in Rogue One that looks cool is just fan service to make Star Wars fanboys just masturbate, and I think it's tragic that it even got nominated because it's a bad film. I just wanted to say that I don't like Rogue One real quick because.
Well, I mean, we can see
excuse...
with Suicide Squad that bad films can win when.
Yep. That is true. So then we got the award for Best Film Editing.
Yay!
The nominees were Arrival, Hacksaw Ridge, Hell or High Water, La La Land, and Moonlight. And they went for the... I mean, if this hadn't been the choice, I would have been actually quite mad. Because the winner was Hacksaw Ridge, which... Oh, it's so beautifully put together. Like,
it's amazing. Like, I couldn't believe the visuals I was watching when I was watching Hacksaw Ridge. People, like, I mean, normally when you see battle scenes or fight scenes or whatever, like, you can see stuff like, I don't know, bullets or whatever coming kind of from the side of the screen, and you sort of see things like off to the side, like you know what's going on, but you don't see it full frontal brutality. But you just saw people getting shot between the eyes or their legs getting blown clean off. And I don't know how you can animate or whatever, generate something like that, giving someone fake intestines coming out of their body and make it work. But like, I mean, this movie, no pun intended, this movie was really gutsy with what it was showing the viewers, because, you know, people will be like, oh, we don't want to make this too gory because we don't want to, but no, this is World War II.
It's war.
Yeah,
war is
exactly.
hell.
They were not.
That's what I was thinking.
Pulling any
I was
punches.
Like, oh, war is bad.
Yeah, and like,
but yeah, the way.
Oh,
I think the reason this deserves best editing is because the way it's cut together is perfect. Like the way it's kind of, the editing is quite slow. Like, it's not quick choppy cuts for the whole time, and then the moment the war scenes start, the entire thing is cut so perfectly, and it's so choppy and quick, and like it's just fast paced, and it's such good contrast to everything else. And I thought that was it was great.
I was really glad it won for that. It absolutely deserved an award for being as like ballsy as it was, with being like, yeah, we're not gonna be afraid to show you what it's like to get someone's head chopped off with a sword. Like, dang. Yeah. I mean,
it was so cool.
Wow. I mean, that movie made me realize, like, once and for all, I could never be a soldier, because people were just hiding behind lines, and then they're like, okay, it's time to run forward 10 feet, and like 5 people would go forward, and 4 of them would just die, and I'm like,
just immediately,
you know you're probably gonna die. Why are you getting up? And because they have the courage to do it, and I'd be like, nope, I'm gonna lay down for the rest of my life. Nope.
It made the character of Desmond Doss just so much more powerful, because it's like everyone around him is just dying. He's fearless. Everyone else is gone, and he's like, I'm gonna go help people.
It's unbelievable.
Like, oh my God, I love you. Yeah.
That movie made me hold my breath several times with how afraid I was. So good.
It's so good.
So good. And our next award is going to be the best documentary short subject. Okay.
I think it's just short films.
Short documentaries?
Short documentaries.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because the documentary was the OJ thing. And the nominees are Extremis, 4.1 Miles, Joe's Violin, Watani, My Homeland, and The White Helmets. I don't know anything about these films, but the award clearly goes to The White Helmets. Yay!
I don't know anything about any of them either.
I like 4.1 Miles because I'm just wondering what that's in reference to.
I like Joe's Violin. That sounds pretty.
Sounds
like a good title.
Right.
So I mean, we have nothing to say there. So moving on, the best live action short goes to. No, it doesn't go to. Nominees were, Animus Etreniers.
Is that French?
La Femme. I don't know. It seems French. La Femme et la TGV, Silent Nights, Sing, and Timecode. And the award goes weirdly to Sing, which I saw Sing, and it didn't seem like a live action short. It seemed like an animated feature.
Yeah,
strange.
To me.
I was very confused.
Maybe you were in the wrong theater.
It was odd that the film about karaoke animals won best live action short.
Yeah,
you know?
but good.
It was
good for it, I guess. I really underestimated it.
Good job, Illumination. Good job. You did a good job. But no, I don't know anything about any of these, so whatever.
Sorry, shorts.
All goofs aside.
And the Oscar for best cinematography was nominated to Arrival, La La Land, Lion, Moonlight, and Silence. And the winner was La La Land, which was colorful and pretty, so fine.
Again, it's like I don't like La La Land, but this is something it did quite spectacularly, like because the lighting, the um, all the motions, the background, like everything is just it's good cinematography. It's very well
Yeah.
done cinematography, and I can't be mad about that because it did do that really well.
What
Like
about like
it was very well
what
shot.
about silence? Because you said it didn't have any sounds. So do you think it would have had to make up for that in good cinematography? Like maybe it was better than
It
it
wasn't better
appears.
than La La Land.
No?
Silence does have great cinematography, but it's not better than La La Land. I don't think.
I would have still been
Um,
happier if it had gone to Lion because that movie deserves all the awards and it was perfectly
yeah,
pretty enough to look at and I mean it was beautiful.
yeah. Lion is an excellent film. I just think like La La Land. One of the things that La La Land does well, one of its like selling points, is the cinematography and the way it's shot. Like its story is lame and its dialogue is lame, but the cinematography and the music are the two things that it's like that's what it does well. That's what it's going for. That's what it's kind of like
Speaking of the
drilling
music,
into. Like
let's get angry about the
speaking of the
next.
music, let's get angry about best original score. The nominees are Jackie, La La Land, Lion, Moonlight, and Passengers, and not Moana for some stupid reason.
Oh,
Oh, here's a really good Disney movie with a great soundtrack and a whole bunch of really good songs. One sung by Mr. Rock himself.
Mr.
Let's not
Rock.
give that any awards. Let's not even
No!
nominate it. What are we doing? um, the winner obviously went. It was La La Land. I thought it would have been hilarious if La La Land hadn't won. Like I knew it was gonna happen, but I was sitting on the
Oh.
edge of my seat because I was like, how funny would it be if the musical didn't win Best Original
Yeah.
Score?
Well, because soundtrack
Like
and
it would have
score
been
aren't
great.
always the same thing. I mean, it had all these like la la la, we're pretending like we're show tunes and we're really not, and we're pretending like we can dance because this is supposed to be a musical, and none of us are talented, and we're just pretending to be a play in a movie, and it doesn't even feel good. Ah! Oh my gosh, it was
I
not a
didn't think
play.
anyone could be more salty about La La Land than I was, but you've topped me.
I really
You've topped me, and
appreciate
I'm proud.
stage plays and show tunes. And this movie was like it was trying to be a show tuney stage play adapted into a film, but it was just like it looked more
Yeah.
like a student film. Like, oh, I'm gonna make a film about a musical, and it like did a crappy job. Like they were even
Uh,
like putting people up on cars dancing, being like, look, we're like the real plays where people have real talent and still dance. And
yeah, that opening song was so
they didn't
awkward. Was it just
no,
me?
they like weren't even dancing
All the
well.
other songs made sense,
They
but
like picked some
that
extras
first
and they're
song
like,
was
do these
like,
steps.
what?
Like no one in there had dance training. No one had I mean,
There was a guy on a bike though, and he went over a car. It was pretty cool. There was a guy on a skateboard.
yippee.
That was pretty
They
cool.
probably just found him in Hollywood somewhere and they're like, do this impression. And the thing about Disney songs and Broadway musicals is really talented people write that stuff and it ends up being show tuney because of just the circumstances. Um,
Yeah,
but like they're trying to make it quality music. For La La Land, it was like,
yeah,
forget quality, let's make this as show tuney as possible because we're trying to
yeah.
make it seem like a play in a movie. And they just forsake all quality and all goodness. I mean, I didn't think any of the songs were good. I mean,
I kind of did, but
maybe
like
they
you know,
were, but I still felt like they were trying too hard to make it show tuney instead of just making it good and letting it be show tuney.
yeah,
I'm saying
yeah.
show
No, that's
tuney
fair.
too much. I'm a Looney Tune here. Anyway,
I think Best Original Score is it's kind of an unfair award because La La Land again it leans so heavily on the music,
mm,
whereas all the other films here they use music as a background
best
thing. Like
original.
Lion, I think Lion had a great score. It's such a background thing that people wouldn't think about it, and people would go, "Oh yeah, the musical that was good," and then just vote La
Yeah,
La Land immediately.
well,
Like
best original score I think would have been great for Manchester by the Sea. I was astounded by how
yeah,
lovely that music was. It was really pretty, but at the same time very eerie. It like lent
hmm,
itself to the dark subject matter, but it was also kind of soothing. It was a
yeah.
great score. Really well done. I gotta
Yeah,
look up who
I
did the music for that because it's probably my favorite. That's wasn't even nominated,
yeah.
and I think it should have won.
Yeah, I just think that because La La Land, it's so in your face with its music that it's kind of obvious it was gonna get it, you know, like because why not? I think they should probably have a difference, like a separate award for best soundtrack, because
Yeah,
I think there is a
because
difference.
scores
Because
and
I don't think
soundtracks
the
are
songs
different.
in La La Land should be compared. It's not a fair
I mean,
comparison. Like that's what I would say.
if by score they meant maybe the freeform jazz, then I can give that a little more credit because I think that was one of the best parts of the
Yeah,
movie was Gosling or his stand-in or whoever was actually playing the piano was being all like,
no, he learned piano to do that.
That's awesome.
Apparently.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because,
like,
I mean, one of the most interesting parts of that movie, I thought, was his character's thoughts and background and how much he loved jazz. And when he was talking about the history of jazz and what it meant for the people who like.
You like jazz?
Oh my gosh! Just scared the crap out of me. Why did you do that? You got so close to your microphone, and I thought like someone snuck up behind me. Oh, Catherine! You're such a brat. Oh, I'm scared.
I just scared you with a B movie quote. How good.
I do not like jazz. Not anymore.
There is a point where Ryan Gosling's character says something along the lines of, you like jazz? And I'm like, oh. It's like, does she like jazz?
Does she
and
like
I'm
jazz?
like, oh. Also, completely side note, in Fences, there's a point where Denzel Washington's character says, is Corey in the house? And I was so close to laughing out loud, but I knew full well that no one would know why I was laughing, and I'd look like a complete idiot in the cinema for laughing at that line. Like, because it's just too funny.
Like, I have to go back to bed now. That really wore me out. Moving on. Wait, is it my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn.
Okay, the award for Best Original Song. So we can still be angry about music. Nominees are Audition by La La Land. I enjoyed that song. Can't Stop the Feeling in Trolls. City of Stars from La La Land. The Empty Chair from Jim the James Foley Story. And How Far I'll Go from Moana. And the winner was City of Stars from La La Land.
I will give it because I really like the Pier version of City of Stars that Ryan Gosling does on the Pier. Like that it's really good. Like I've been listening to that a lot.
No, I thought that song was so dull. It wasn't like catchy. It wasn't smooth, I don't know. It was just like there. I was like, oh, okay, their voice is moving up and down.
I think it was catchy. I like it. I think it's good. I don't think it deserves the Oscar because I think that You're Welcome deserves the Oscar, because how good would it have been if the composer Lin-Manuel Miranda could come up and just be like, guys, you're welcome. How good would that have been? It would have been amazing.
Well, even if he'd won for How Far I'll Go and got up and said you're welcome, that would have been great, because it would have been giving credit to two fantastic songs. And you know what?
Could have just been like, I see what's happening here.
That guy is brilliant
face with greatness.
And talented, and he deserved much more stage time.
Yeah.
Although I saw the little rap he did before Moana's voice actors came on and sang. I was like, yeah.
Nah, that rap was real awkward. I was just sitting there like,
no, he's so talented. He's really good at what he does.
I get it, he's talented, but that rap, no.
What are you talking about? No, it was good.
No. I liked how when she was singing it, she got hit by one of the flags.
Did she?
Yeah. She just gets like bopped on the head, but she just keeps going. She's a trooper. It's amazing.
Well, I like that stuff. I like stuff that makes it real. Like, she got like one word wrong and kept going, and I'm just like, yep, that's how it is to perform.
Yeah.
Keep going.
I was really upset because before they did that performance, Mr. Rock comes on and he's like, he jokes that they'd asked him to come and sing You're Welcome, and he's like, oh, when the Academy phoned me up to ask if I'd come on, I was like, you're welcome. And I was like, Mr. Rock, please do a good sing song. And then
sang for like 3 seconds, and they were like, no, that's okay.
It was like, no, let's not have The Rock. I love that man. He's so beautiful. But yeah, I think City of Stars it's a logical choice. I don't agree with it, but I can kind of see why they chose it. I don't really know why Can't Stop This Feeling from Trolls didn't get it. Justin Timberlake is a musical genius, and that song worked perfectly within the context.
Is that
of the
why
story
he performed at the Oscars? I didn't know why he was there.
Yeah, because that was his
Is
song.
That the only movie he's been in this year?
They performed all of those songs across the course of the show.
That's cool.
All of those nominated
What
songs.
was Jim the James Foley Story?
I have no idea, but Sting did that song.
Ooh,
apparently.
I gotta see that.
He was in the B movie.
Oh, that's right. That was cool.
Because he got sued by Barry.
Gosh.
Wait, have you seen the B movie now?
No.
Was that like an honest no, or have you actually?
Let's move on to Best Original Screenplay. The nominees for Best Original Screenplay.
Whoa, you did song. Go away. What are you
I did?
Encroaching on my.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
What are you doing? Best Original Screenplay. I want to announce this one because I'm actually happy about it.
Yay!
The nominees for Best Original Screenplay are Hell or High Water, La La Land, The Lobster, Manchester by the Sea, and 20th Century Women. The obvious choice is the masterful, just perfect script. Just, I think if La La Land had got this one, this would be the one that I would be the maddest about, because the winner, Manchester by the Sea, was just the obvious choice. Like, it's so perfectly written. Everything about it is
brilliant.
Just,
it was genius.
It's a masterpiece.
Are we gonna still just rip on La La Land even though it didn't win and talk about why it shouldn't even be nominated?
Yeah, because it's not a good script.
No, it's not.
Trolls deserve to be nominated more than La La Land.
Probably. Trolls was probably a lot more original. I mean, the characters barely had any depth, and the plot of the story was so predictable. You know, it's got like them meeting and then falling in love, and then they fight, and then they break up, and then it's like happy, and then it's like, oh, it's sad, bittersweet ending. And it's like, what did they just like? I don't know. You could just like print a plot out of any random like plot producing printer and
you could get 100 monkeys with keyboards, and eventually they would write La La Land.
Yeah. You could say that about anything.
Like, I mean, it would take a lot less time than it would take for them to write Shakespeare.
Exactly.
Probably take 100 monkeys about 20 minutes to write La La Land, I reckon.
You make 1,000,000 monkeys give typewriters, and by the time it takes them to write Hamlet, like 400 of them have written La La Land because it's so easy to write. Something that simple, something that done 1,000 times. Anyway, Manchester by the Sea was genius. It was brilliant. Yeah. All the dialogue.
It's so good.
All the little weird, like, nervous tics and little nuances that the actors had.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that was the acting, but, like, that kind of stuff is often written in. Like make this awkward movement or do this weird thing when you're saying this. And, like, it's all in there.
It's also, it's so perfectly real. Like, all of the line,
it's
all of
so
the
authentic.
main characters' lines are just so, like, oh, it's too real. Mm-hmm. It's beautiful.
I loved the little stuff, like, when, like, they would be on the phone and, like, constantly interrupting each other or being like, wait, what did you say? Oh, it's cutting out. Wait, say that again. And it's like, that stuff doesn't have to be there, but it makes it like, oh, I've totally had that conversation before. I relate to this movie.
Yeah.
That stuff is so real.
And it had really good, even though it was so real and kind of depressing a lot of the time, it had some really nice moments of levity. Like, there were some really charming little funny moments between the two leads that were like, oh, maybe everything isn't so bad after all.
Yeah.
You know, it was nice.
What I appreciated about, like, all the dialogue and all the purpose of the story is there was no agenda. There was no,
it just existed.
The character feels this way to represent this or express this about society or people or make you as the viewer feel this way. It was just people, like, living and doing their thing and saying what they would say. And it was just going on until the person was like, okay, this is a good place to end the movie. Like, there was no, like, purposeful reason for anything. It was just how it was. It was very Wes Anderson-y in its in its shots as well as its screenplay. So have you seen any Wes Anderson films yet?
I haven't, and I'm going.
Oh yeah, because that's on one of your squares. What? Oh, Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Is it Fantastic Mr. Fox? Yeah, but I feel like that's probably not the best. Like,
oh, it's not his best, but his animation is
like, as in the best display really of his cool.
But, like,
directing sort of thing.
You'll watch some of his movies.
Yeah.
Or even who directed Lost in Translation? I don't know, but that was.
I don't either.
That was Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson when she was still pretty young, and that also had a lot of scenes where it was just like still shots looking over the horizon, or like a silent moment of two people just eating dinner for a few seconds, and, like, I think that stuff just makes excellent meat in a movie, and that's what I loved about Manchester by the Sea. So I think Best Original Screenplay is a really, really prestigious award. And wow, that sounded really douchey of me. I'm just saying, I think it's a better award than, like, sound mixing or something. It's a good award to win, and I'm glad it won it.
I mean, rude. Come on, sound mixers work hard. They deserve to be.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Although, to be fair, without a good script, film.
If I was Manchester by the Sea, I'd be happier to win original screenplay than something else.
True.
Than best short documentary,
But it would be weird if Manchester by the Sea won best short documentary, wouldn't it? That would be a bit odd.
A bit.
Considering it's feature length.
Anyway, Best Adapted Screenplay, which, oh wait, for a second, I wanted to say something about The Lobster, because I haven't seen that, but it's also a book.
Nor have I. I've heard it's good.
Yeah, I'd like to.
Okay.
I saw it at Target, at least I think. I thought I saw it was a book. Shoot, I could be wrong, and now I don't even know why I'm saying this. But I thought it was a book before.
I feel like if it was a book,
then it wouldn't win.
It would be on Best Adapted Screenplay.
Yeah, so I could be wrong. But either way, that movie looks cool and weird, and I want to see it. But Best Adapted Screenplay,
I might say it.
The nominees are Arrival, Fences, Hidden Figures, Lion, and Moonlight. And can we just skip the winner, because I'm looking at this highlight and it's making me mad. The winner is Moonlight.
I think literally every other film on this list deserves it more than Moonlight.
Hidden Figures.
Literally all of them.
Lion. Fences.
Arrival's also pretty good, I guess.
Yeah?
Like, I mean,
was that a book?
It's not that good, but it's yes,
okay.
I think. I mean, you haven't seen Moonlight, so you can't get mad about this. But Moonlight, like, it's
no, but just from what you've told me, like, I mean, I shouldn't always take your word for everything. But Fences, Hidden Figures, and Lion were so great. Like,
Yeah, it just I was a bit mad about this, but I feel like they were gonna. It ticks all the Oscar boxes, you know. It's whatever. Moving on. Best Director. The Best Director nominees are Denis Villeneuve for Arrival, Mel Gibson for Hacksaw Ridge, Damien Chazelle for La La Land, Kenneth Lonergan for Manchester by the Sea, and Barry Jenkins for Moonlight. So, here's the deal. La La Land is well directed. I will give it that. But here's the other deal. Hacksaw Ridge is better directed.
Hacksaw Ridge was fantastically directed.
So was Manchester by the Sea.
It was so great!
I would argue. Yeah, I don't even like Moonlight. But Moonlight was directed better than La La Land. What? What's this La La Land nonsense?
I mean, I don't know. Were the writer and director different for La La Land? Because we've already established that it was really badly written. And I mean, is the director involved in cinematography? Because if so, then maybe those categories shouldn't even be the same, because it already got best cinematography for looking all colorful and nice. But like, what? Why would it?
Probably, I think it had a different cinematographer, because I don't remember Damien Chazelle.
Do the directors have to do with making the actors do what they're supposed to do? Because then he shouldn't have won, because they weren't really good actors. You know, and they're pretty good actors, actually, but some reason in this film, they were like, I'm gonna put my talent in a box for a second and not use it.
I don't know, I don't think I'm against Emma Stone, but we'll go into that later. And Ryan Gosling's handsome, but I don't know if he's like a great actor.
I don't know.
Anyway, no, I don't think
he's a feminist, that's why everyone loves him.
If Mel Gibson hadn't said a bunch of racist stuff or whatever, he would have won this, I think. I think it's just because people didn't see Hacksaw Ridge, because everyone was boycotting it because of Mel Gibson.
That's ridiculous.
I honestly think he deserves this award. Separate the art from the artist.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Give the credit to like the real people who were like the basis for Hacksaw Ridge. It was like it's like they deserved Mel Gibson to get this award for having this movie made about them. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it just that made me mad. I also think that Moonlight deserved it too. Like it's a terrible script, but it's well directed. Like it looks great. It deserves it more than La La Land. La La Land has great production design, cinematography, lighting, everything else, but I don't know. He's done better. In
the middle of watching Manchester by the Sea, I was like, I IMDb'd who wrote it and directed it, and Kenneth Lonergan directed and wrote it, so I was like, I'm looking up everything this guy did, and I'm watching like his entire like filmography.
Didn't he come from plays or something?
Maybe.
I'm hearing that he came from like playwriting, but I could be wrong on that. I don't 100% know. I would like to see like, something else that he's written. I'm interested. Like that's I'm in to do that. So we're on the home stretch now. There's only 3 left.
Okay, Best Actor. Nominees are Casey Affleck for Manchester by the Sea, Andrew Garfield for Hacksaw Ridge, Ryan Gosling for La La Land, Viggo Mortensen for Captain Fantastic, and Denzel Washington for Fences.
One of these things is not like the others. One of these things doesn't have that much talent in the film that they're in. Guess which one it is? It's Ryan Gosling.
And the winner was Casey Affleck for Manchester by the Sea.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That was an amazing
totally deserved it. Andrew Garfield did a great job at being an adorable, brave doofus.
Man, I loved Andrew Garfield in that film.
Denzel Washington I wasn't sure if he was going to be as good as James Earl Jones, who was the original portrayer of, what's his name, Troy.
Yes.
In like the original stage play, but he killed it. He killed that character. Oh, yeah, but Casey Affleck.
Casey Affleck totally deserved this. It's undisputed. If he wasn't there, I think Andy Garth should have got it.
He just melted into that character. You wouldn't be able to separate the actor from the character when he was up there. He's just it was
so good. Although apparently he's done some, I think he hit his girlfriend or something, so everyone's a bit mad that he won. And I'm like, separate the art from the artist, guys. Yes. Come on. Yeah, he's a great actor, did a great job, just amazing. And Andy Garth, I think Andrew Garfield. So I have this huge vendetta against everyone who was involved in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 because it's one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life. And Andrew Garfield has redeemed himself for that now.
Nice. And
I'm proud of him. I'm so proud of him. I like him again.
He needed to be a different kind of hero.
Yeah. And it's great because he was in Silence and I hated that. But Hacksaw Ridge alone, he redeemed himself for just everything bad he'd done to me in the past. You know who didn't? Moving on. Best Actress. The nominees were Isabelle Huppert. I think she's French. I think I'm pronouncing that maybe wrong. I don't know. From Elle. Ruth Negga from Loving, Natalie Portman from Jackie, Emma Stone from La La Land, and Meryl Streep, overrated, from Florence Foster Jenkins. I've only seen 2 of these films. I'll have to admit. Loving isn't out here yet. Elle isn't out here yet, and
Hidden Figures isn't even on here.
Taraji P. Henson deserved to be nominated, but she wasn't. What's that about? Are the Oscars too white? So the winner here was ridiculous. Emma Stone, who I think is not good in La La Land. I think she hasn't redeemed herself from The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I will continue to dislike Emma Stone until she does.
You know what? She was good in The Help.
Okay.
And but that was not this year. So I don't know. She was better in her little fake auditions when she went in and she was like, 2 options. You follow my rules or you follow my rules. Like she did better in those fake auditions than she did as her character, being all like fighting with Ryan Gosling and whatever. She barely acted. She didn't have any important scenes. Yeah. She didn't do a very good job.
Here's my problem with this, if you will let me finish. My problem with this is Natalie Portman for Jackie completely absorbed that role. She did the stupid voice that Jackie Kennedy had, and that voice is stupid. But I've checked, it's right. She does it perfectly. She does the mannerisms. She portrays a grieving widow perfectly. There are so many scenes in Jackie. Jackie was not. I didn't think it was that good of a film, but her performance was stellar. Natalie Portman's performance in Jackie was just. It was amazing because she perfectly all of these really subtle facial movements for to show that she was upset and really deeply hurt on the inside.
All the little things that people don't notice.
It was great. She did the voice. She did the.
That makes me want to give it a try.
Emma Stone,
because I really do like historical fiction.
She just looked. Everyone says that Emma Stone's attractive, but I don't. Can I just bring that? I don't think it affects whether or not she deserved this Oscar. She did have a performance, but people are like, Emma Stone deserves this because she's the most attractive choice, and I'm like.
That's not acting.
She's got weird bone structure and bug eyes. Why do people think Emma Stone's attractive?
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. Being attractive doesn't make you a good actress.
It doesn't, but I still want to talk about it.
Okay.
I don't understand. I don't understand why people think, especially when she stood next to Ryan Gosling, who is genuinely a gorgeous human being. How can people look at those 2 human beings and think that Emma Stone is attractive when the comparison is there's so much contrast there?
I don't know. Because
Ryan Gosling is just so beautiful. But yeah, this is, I think, the worst.
I haven't even seen Florence Foster Jenkins, and I can probably already say Meryl Streep deserved it more than Emma Stone did.
Nah, she's overrated. Come on.
All right, so moving on to the... Would you like to take it away
with the final award?
Final award, the biggest award for Best Picture. We've got the nominees are Arrival, Fences, Hacksaw Ridge, Hell or High Water, Hidden Figures, La La Land, Lion, Manchester by the Sea, and Moonlight. And the winner is La La Land. More like blah blah land. or La La Bland, as you say. I'm not sure which one's
Good
funnier.
One. Got him. Witty. But seriously, Moonlight won it, though.
Yeah. Do you think that'll be
What a good goof. I love it. That was like the best thing, because I had already gone into our group chat and started ranting about how La La Land won, and then I just hear like on the stream like, no wait, Moonlight, you guys won it, and I'm like, what? What?
I couldn't even believe that
that
La La Land got nominated. I was like, this is like, I could get why some people would like enjoy this and have it be just, you know, a silly little film, like, oh, that was fun, whatever. But like, not for Best Picture. Like, it was not that good.
I mean, I would argue that it deserves it more than Moonlight does. I think Moonlight is probably, I would argue, in my personal opinion, Moonlight is the worst film on this list. Either Hacksaw Ridge, Lion, or Manchester by the Sea deserved it. What the hell?
Sorry, I had to yawn, so I turned it into a growl.
But yeah, it's just, I don't know, it was so underwhelming, but I guess they had to give it, like, I've seen people posting on Facebook, like, can we all just appreciate that a movie about a gay black man won Best Picture? How great is that? And I'm like, okay, have you seen this film, though? Have you people sharing this stuff on Facebook?
But it wasn't even a real story. It's
not a good film.
We could have given, I mean, if we were doing this for, like, diversity and, like, building up minorities and whatnot, then give it to Hidden Figures. Because those women, those black women, were real, and they deserved that story about them.
The guy from Moonlight was real also, though, so...
I asked if it was a true story, and I thought you said no.
Oh, no, I think I said yeah, but it was also based on a play that he wrote about it, so...
Well, who cares? There were 3 of them in Hidden Figures. They could split up the Oscar and share
Triple! Oh, baby, a triple. Or Lion. Like, why does representation just have to be for, like African Americans? Or, I don't know what the PC term at this point is, I don't... Like, but you know, why can't we have representation for Indian people? Because that story is amazing. It's a story of just this really terrible situation that's happening to real people right now. And if you're gonna give it to a token like representing a minority, give it to Lion. Lion's amazing.
Yeah, and that's an important story about, like, you know, children getting lost in a really like bad area of the world, and a lot of them are like taken into slavery or taken into sex trafficking or just like killed. Yeah. And like, or, you know, even if they're adopted by wonderful families, they still have horrible mental issues and like crap to go through. And it's an important thing to know.
But hey, QJ, guess what? Guess what? Lion has less Oscars than
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad, the greatest movie of all time.
And Hacksaw Ridge was a real guy too, but he's white, so who cares about him?
Yeah, who cares about Hacksaw Ridge? He's my favorite guy, though.
No, he actually tried to like save some of the enemies. Like he patched up some Japanese people, and then I
just think that Moonlight it's not that good of a film, but it's artistic, it's pretentious, and it represents minorities. I say that in air quotes because, like, I didn't really get any sense that it was doing anything particularly positive for gay representation in film. Man, that film's terrible. It just has so little meaning.
Because it probably had an opportunity to like maybe represent those minorities well and like give them a voice, but maybe it was just trying to be too artsy and pretentious, and it like
I mean, it's not like it represents them badly. I just don't think it's not like a pride thing to rally behind. It's just kind of like he's gay, and I guess that's the point, but it's not really the point because this film doesn't really have a point. It just kind of exists in this stupid little bubble where there's no purpose to anything, and they don't. The writing is just not good, and
if you're gonna exist in a stupid bubble where nothing happens, then be more like Manchester by the Sea, where they do a good job at doing
that. My biggest problem, just before we finish off this episode, for the whole Oscars this year, is that A Monster Calls was not nominated for anything, and A Monster Calls is a beautiful film. I really don't understand it. Like, is it because it's like a British, like it's a small British film? Did people just not see it? Like, A Monster Calls is amazing.
Did it
it's
well, wait, did it count for, well, I was gonna say, did it even count for 2016? Because didn't it come at like the turn of the year? But then again, it wasn't nominated like for the year before for anything either.
Everything, a lot of them came out in January. January is like the time when Oscar films come out. Like La La Land came out in January. Like La La Land and Monster Calls came out around the same time. So I don't get it. Like, it's an amazing screenplay. I think best adapted screenplay, A Monster Calls deserves it more than Moonlight. I think it has great cinematography. It's just it's.
And I have a list of films I need to still go see for last year.
It just makes me kind of mad that A Monster Calls wasn't even recognized in the slightest. Like, I think it should have been, and it annoys me. It kind of does.
Blarg.
But whatever. I'm like, oh well.
I just checked my email and I have a coupon for a free cheeseburger, so I'm gonna head off and go use that. It's lunchtime.
So anyway, in conclusion, we agreed with a lot of stuff. We also disagreed with mostly La La Land and Moonlight, or at least I disagreed with Moonlight. I feel like you haven't seen it, so you can't really make that judgment. But you know, the Oscars, everyone.
The Oscars.
I hope people enjoyed. I thought that was quite fun. Like, I think we had some good little moments.
Yeah.
In that, like, episode.
That was fun.
I hope people enjoy it because I enjoyed making this. I want to make more little. And now that you've seen the B movie, apparently we can talk about that sometime.
We're gonna watch a B documentary. Is that one? Was that one of the short documentary nominations? Was that one of them?
Yes, the B movie with Jerry Seinfeld, the greatest man of all time. Oh, I love a good Seinfeld. What a good voice actor.
Till next year, everyone. See you at the 90th Oscar ceremonies.
Oh man, that's pretty hype. Cool. Yeah, I'll see you around. Goodbye. Listen to our other podcasts and stuff.
See you around, everybody.
On you. Yeah, later.
Later.
Bye. Thanks for listening.